This footage shows a street in mainland China filled with beggars. A restaurant owner notices an elderly man collecting leftover food.
It's fine. Go ahead and eat. Do you want a meal?
A passerby films a family of 4 living on the streets.
Little one, are you hungry? Go home early and get some rest.
今天早上买菜，看见这里正在乞讨。
I went grocery shopping today and saw this scene. It looks like a father with his 2 daughters begging on the street. The father was kneeling. It seemed like he was facing real troubles. In an underpass, people are sleeping on makeshift bedding spread across the ground. China is now entering an unprecedented economic downturn. The reality for the ordinary people is far bleaker than official propaganda suggests. On August 13th, a factory in Shenzhen, Guangdong shut down.
老板跑路啦！
The boss ran away. We are unfortunate enough to end up with this unscrupulous owner. That same day, in Xiamen, Fujian, another factory closed.
倒闭要倒闭了。
Closed down, another factory gone. This year is tough.
我已经3天3夜没有睡觉了。
I haven't slept for 3 days and nights. Look at the bags under my eyes. My hair turned completely white overnight. I've run 3 companies for 26 years, and 3 days ago, we decided to suspend operations. I'm heartbroken. I've exhausted all my family's assets.
My goodness, every shop on this street is closed. This used to be a busy commercial street, but now the entire street has shut down.
On August 12th in Shenzhen, workers gathered to protest after their contracts were abruptly terminated.
我现在想问你，公司以哪条法律依据终止我们的合同？
I want to ask, on what legal grounds did the company terminate our contracts? What did we do wrong?
大家的诉求我们都会记录。
We'll record all your requests and report them to the company. We were directly told our contracts had ended. Which law allows this? Just answer me. Did the company lay us off suddenly? The company is closing as usual. Starting September 1st, the Chinese government will enforce mandatory social security contributions for all employees, dramatically increasing costs for small businesses. Many previously avoided these payments by offering slightly higher wages instead. Now they have no choice. Employers must contribute an amount often close to 50% of an employee's salary. For labor-intensive small businesses, this is a heavy burden. Social media has been flooded with reports of factory closures, while some businesses are letting go of younger staff in favor of hiring retirees who are exempt from these contributions.
1个月就3000块钱工资. My salary was only 3,000 yuan a month with no benefits. After the new policy, the boss couldn't manage, so today he shut the company down. So many closures in just past 2 days. People think the bosses have it easy. I'm telling you, 80% of them either have depression or are on the verge of a breakdown. It's too hard. 社保我不知道好不好. I don't know if Social Security is good or bad, but my company has gone under. Yesterday, I thought only I was laid off, but the boss even laid off himself.
可能是第一家为了躲避硬性社保而关闭的公司了。
This might be the first company to close just to avoid the new rule. A factory in Huizhou, Guangdong, decided to shut down on August 31st. Because from September 1st, they must pay Social Security. The boss said profit margins are already thin. Paying would mean losing money. So he closed down and will find another way to make a living. At the same time, China is trapped in a liquidity crisis. Even with repeated monetary and fiscal stimulus, spending remains weak. The government has introduced subsidized loans for consumers and service sector businesses. But public responses has been skeptical. Online comments read, "Do you think the problem is the interest rate? No, it's that the people don't dare to borrow and spend." Others add, "We're not short on low interest, we're short on principle." Experts say these policies conflict with each other. Subsidies are meant to boost spending, but mandatory Social Security payments drain cash from both employers and workers. In 2019, the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences predicted that pension funds might be depleted by 2035. According to Wang Guochen, an expert in Chinese economic policy, the Social Security system is facing a structural crisis. He explained that a large number of young people are either withdrawing from or refusing to enroll in the pension system. The government had previously forecast that the pension system would run out by 2035. But now, with the economy in even worse shape than expected, the situation is more dire. Reports suggest that local governments have been using pension funds to cover local debts, which means the Social Security Fund could collapse sooner than anticipated. This would have a huge impact on China's employment and consumer spending, creating an economic bombshell with far-reaching consequences. An expert on Chinese social issues, Xu Ke, remarked that since the government announced the mandatory Social Security payments, many business owners have already made the tough decision to shut down. They know there are no good policies to address the situation. Once the September 1st deadline for mandatory payments takes effect, business closures will become widespread, leading to massive unemployment. According to Xu, this will be like a nuclear bomb for the economy, severely damaging the social stability that the Chinese Communist Party fears the most, potentially sparking a wave of popular resistance against the government's oppressive policies. By mid-2025, even before the new rule takes effect, closures have swept across industries. Some vloggers have taken videos of the current state of the catering business in many places.
Closed down. I've lost 1.2 million yuan in 6 months. I pawned my car and sold my house. I ran this fish hot pot restaurant for 12 years, but I can't keep going. I invested 2.1 million yuan back in 2014. Now all I have left are these tables and chairs. I might be the most unlucky boss in Zhengzhou.
Another vlogger shared a video to reflect the current situation of the catering industry in Nanjing, Jiangsu in August. Business is too hard. Stores are closing one after another. If you don't dine here, I'll have to close too. The market is terrible. Even if new hot pot and barbecue restaurants open, they won't last long. On August 11th, a vlogger from Hefei, Anhui Province, posted a video saying, "Closed down, brothers. Congratulate me. I'm finally free. 10 years in the restaurant industry, and this year I came with confidence and invested 130,000 yuan. Now I can't even sell the place. Office workers don't come down to eat anymore, and I can't compete with chain stores for delivery orders. I'm exhausted. Even during the pandemic, business wasn't this bad. If you know anyone thinking about starting a restaurant, tell them not to do it. Keep your money safe. That's the most important thing." A vlogger says that in 2025, over 90% of new restaurants closed within months. Many viral restaurants are artificially hyped to lure franchisees, who often lose all their savings.
This is Shuangliu Pedestrian Street. It used to be crowded with people and even thieves, but now there's just no one. About 12 or 13 years ago, when I worked here, it was packed. Now it's either closed down or shops are rented out. It's a different world now.
Everywhere you look, shops are being transferred or rented out. It's the same on this whole street. Shops for rent or sale. I called a landlord recently, and they were very polite. Rent is negotiable now. A vlogger from Dongguan, Guangdong comments, "It's over. It's completely over. These machines are turning to scrap metal. Since August, factories in Dongguan and Shenzhen have been closing one after another. Every piece of equipment is lying here, losing value. If this keeps up, it will all just be junk. Our entire commercial street has collapsed. Each shop has lost more than 500,000 yuan." The vlogger goes on to say that restaurant closures in China are setting new records as consumer spending continues to decline. With so many restaurants closing down, the market has almost no room left to survive. Hotels are now trying to sell takeout to ease their anxiety. But it's only a temporary fix. Footage shows Chongqing's Sanxia Square also in a state of decline. A vlogger explains that the underground mall in Shapingba is eerily quiet. Looking down the hall, there's no one in sight. This, they note, is the current reality for physical stores. Those who purchased these shops likely regret it now. The vlogger also mentions spotting a few stray cats inside. On August 13th, in Qionglai, Chengdu, the shops were empty. This isn't an exaggeration. This used to be the busiest shopping district in the city, but now all the shops on several floors are empty. No one's even opening their doors anymore. The truck sales market isn't doing any better. Hello everyone. People say the off-season is over, but it's not like it used to be. Look around, there's no one here, just cars. If you see anyone here, they're probably just market people. No one's buying trucks. In Anyi, Jiangxi, a vlogger shares that this street used to be the busiest in Anyi, but now it's a ghost town. More and more shops are closing down. Mr. Guo, who runs a musical instrument business, expresses his frustration about his sales this August.
8月份的生意太惨淡了。
Business this August has been terrible. Just the other day, I said that this year's business has dropped by 60% compared to 2023 and 2024. That's a 50% drop from what it was before. August alone has been half of the peak season, only about 20% of what we normally expect. It's so scary. Live streaming, sales, retail, everything is dead. People just stopped buying. Every industry is struggling. Profits are low, and everyone's income has dropped. A logistics blogger points out that the international shipping market has been struggling throughout the year.
惨淡的8月份，我感觉今年的金九银十很难了。
August has been miserable. I feel like golden September and silver October, which are generally peak demand months for Chinese markets, won't happen this year. The market is barely alive. The prices for routes to the US and Canada are being updated multiple times a day. The European market is also declining. Only the Middle East shows some signs of growth. Other routes are practically dead.
The gym industry is facing similar issues. On August 4th, Blue Castle Gym in Xi'an closed without warning, leading to complaints from 300 members, totaling about 200,000 yuan in claims. Another gym in Hangzhou owes 200,000 yuan in back pay to trainers and more than 800,000 yuan to over 70 members, totaling over 1 million yuan. The owner fled, and many students have reported the case to the police. Will's Fitness, a well-known chain, had 165 locations at its peak, but now has only 2. Thousands of members are waiting for refunds. The gym membership model has become a Ponzi scheme, which is a type of financial scam where early investors are paid returns from the money of new investors, rather than from profit earned by the business. In the current economic downturn and with lower consumer spending, this model is no longer sustainable, and many gym owners are closing their doors. The high-end hotel industry, which once thrived on conference business, is also in steep decline. On August 8th, the Beijing Municipal Bureau of Statistics reported that revenue for the accommodation industry in the first half of 2025 dropped by 7.3%, and profits plummeted by 92.9%. Across the country, hotel revenues have sharply declined. By 2025, the income from conference services at most hotels is far below 2019 levels. Large conferences, once common in suburban resorts, have become history. Even in cities like Wuxi and Changzhou, hotels are struggling to recover even basic fees for meeting rooms. On August 10th, Zijin Holiday Resort in Shaoyang, Hunan closed down.
I came to check and the hotel had closed. Many people came to pick up the leftover items.
China's small and medium-sized banks are also falling into bankruptcy. Recently, Lianfeng Rural Bank in Dalian entered bankruptcy proceedings. In early 2025, the number of small banks closed will have already exceeded the total for 2024. Experts say the disappearance of these banks reflects the deepening crisis faced by small businesses. Due to the growing number of business closures and a high unemployment rate, more and more middle-class people are turning to delivery work or driving ride-sharing cars to make ends meet. New data shows that by October 2024, the number of rideshare drivers in China increased by 158.8%, from 2.89 million at the end of 2020 to 7.48 million. However, daily orders have sharply decreased from 23.3 orders per day to just 10 orders. On August 7th, a vlogger shared his thoughts on the current economic situation.
第一，我认为大家传统中所认为的铁饭碗已经不铁了。
First, the iron rice bowl that people used to rely on. Positions like civil servants, teachers or staff in public institutions are no longer secure. A friend who's a teacher told me they haven't received their salary and the government isn't even paying their pension fund. There's no money left. Even civil servants can't get paid now. Many people thought these jobs were stable, but not anymore. With a declining population, the position of teachers isn't as stable as people think. Second, we should focus on the present. Don't think too much about what will happen in 3 or 4 years. Why? Because the future is highly uncertain. For example, we are paying into Social Security now, but who knows how much we will get when we retire. Policies change constantly. Don't be too optimistic. In 15 years, it could change to 20 years or even 25 years, depending on the population and aging situation. So live for today and manage according to your financial capacity. Third, saving money is crucial. When your income decreases or you lose your job, you'll realize that all those promises about social security and taking care of old age are empty. Having cash in hand is the safest bet. Experts like Ma Guangyuan have said we'll enter an era where savings interest rates are zero and loan rates may even go negative. If you put money in the bank, they won't pay interest. They will charge a management fee. It might be better to hide your money in a safe at home.
The vlogger concludes saying that young people today need to focus on building security for themselves and strengthening their resilience to economic risks. Another vlogger advises watching your wallet during the ongoing economic downturn and avoid reckless investments.
不知道大家今年有没有这个感觉啊？
I don't know if any of you feel this way, but making money has become difficult, while spending seems to happen so easily. Just like water flowing out, it's gone in an instant. I'm in the office furniture industry, and this year, all of us in the business can really feel the chill. The entire industry feels lifeless. The entire sector feels lifeless. In better economic times, various industries were booming, and everyone needed office furniture. This year, however, many longtime customers and distributors have said that products are no longer selling. Recently, several customers have come to negotiate, asking for leftover stock and discounted goods. The vlogger goes on to explain that the country's economy is driven by three main factors: exports, consumption, and investment. They note that consumption is struggling, as evidenced by the empty malls they visited during holidays, with no customers in sight. The government continues issuing consumption vouchers and lowering down payments for home loans, but these measures have not been enough to stimulate spending. The car sales market is highly competitive, with numerous subsidies offered, but again, these measures aim to boost consumption, which is still failing. On exports, the vlogger points out that the trade war with the US has significantly impacted the economy. As for investment, China's economy is heavily state-driven, with most investments relying on government infrastructure projects. Apart from a few large-scale projects like the multi-trillion-yuan Yarlung-Zambo hydropower project, both investment and export sectors are stagnating. With consumption, investment, and exports all in a downturn, the question arises: can the economy recover? The vlogger advises people to focus on holding onto their jobs and securing their livelihoods. It is important to protect one's savings and avoid making reckless investments.